Hi, welcome back to this channel. I'm Mo. I'm a newbie cash stuffer living at over 6,000 feet, and this is the mountain budget. I'm super excited for today's video because I am starting, or I should say restarting, a savings challenge. And since I'm making a whole video about it, I am committing to seeing this savings challenge through. And this is a very common savings challenge in the cash stuffing community, so I will not be blowing anyone's mind here today. But the savings challenge I'm going to be starting is the 100 envelope savings challenge. And just in case, on the off chance you have never heard of the savings challenge before, the general idea is that you have 100 envelopes labeled 1 through 100, and you stuff each envelope with the corresponding number on the outside. So in the first envelope, you stuff $1. In the 56th envelope, you stuff $56, and so on and so forth until all envelopes are full of cash. And at the end of the challenge, you are supposedly supposed to get $5,050. Some people overstuff. I think that is my intention as well, to overstuff. And anyway, all that to say, I'm starting it today, March 23rd, 2025. I want to have it on record that I'm starting it today. I'm going to set up my binder. I'm going to walk you through my rules for the challenge and also stuff my first little bit of cash. So let's go ahead and open up the binder. Also, it's so extra, but I did paint my nails for this video, and I wore this sweater for this video to match the envelope or the binder itself. And if you were curious, a couple people commented on some recent videos of mine that they really liked my nail polish, so I just have out the nail polish that I'm wearing. I'm wearing a Holo Taco base coat, just the smoothing base coat, and Holo Taco Peri Social, which I did check, and that is not discontinued. That is still available. So if you're into that kind of periwinkle, lilac, no, not really lilac, lavender almost, but very definitely periwinkle look, you can go check it out. On that note, I can't link this, and unfortunately I can't link where I got this binder either, just because my channel is still so small. I can't put links in my description, but if you Google Holo Taco Peri Social, it'll take you right there. And if you go onto Amazon and search for the 100 envelope savings challenge binder, it will take you right here to this, and they come in all sorts of different colors. I think there was a pink one, a blue one, a green one. I chose purple because I'm a fan of purple. And anyway, all that to say, let's go ahead and open up this binder. As you can see, I have a little pile of cash right here, which I'm gonna go ahead and sort out. And actually, I don't know how I want to do this now that I think about it. Let's just get you organized. I'm gonna speed through this bit. All right, so these are not the most elegant of bills, but I am still gonna go ahead and count the total amount of money that we're going to get to stuff today. And then while I'm stuffing them, I'm gonna kind of go over just all my little extra things that I have that make this challenge unique to me, or like the way I'm doing it is unique compared to, everybody does their own take on the challenge, and I'm going to tell you about my specific take. Okay, so we have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 85, 95, $100 there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, $60. So $160. 161, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71. $171, unless I'm stupid. Let me know if I counted that wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Okay, first things first, we're gonna try and portion out the funds into specific amounts. So I'm gonna try, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try and get rid, well, actually, that's interesting. How do I wanna do this? Should we start? Because my worry is that if I start by stuffing all the ones and stuff like that, then we're gonna get to a certain point where I'm not gonna have not enough to stuff, but it just won't match up. But you know what? if that occurs, we can always shuffle things around. How about that? How about that? Okay, let's start off by just taking care of our $1 situation. So we're just gonna leave this pile up here. And we're gonna go ahead and stuff our very first envelope. And it is my plan to kind of consistently stuff and then unstuff this challenge and condense it down. So basically my plan, that's the first one. Now we're doing $2, 1, 2, is I'm going to continuously just fill this up kind of near the lower edge. And then once I get to a certain moment, let's say I'm condensing in all my other binders, I'll go ahead and condense this binder as well, unstuff all the lower denominations, count it out, and see which of the higher denominations I can fill in. And just in case you were curious, this binder, when you order this on Amazon, it also comes with a tracker that kind of helps that you can color in with Sharpie or with a dry erase marker or something like that. I am personally not going to use this today because, as I was just saying, this dollar isn't going to be in here forever. I'm going to unstuff this, condense it, and then try and fill it up. Basically, this is what I'm trying to say. I am going to try and fill up this challenge backwards, even though I'm starting at the start. But the concept is that when I have general leftover cash, I can stuff it in here. And then when I'm doing condensing, we then do committals, and we start with committing the funds at the highest level and work backwards. So that might not have been an intuitive explanation, but I'm going to go a little bit more into it. So bear with me if you were like, what the heck are you saying? Okay, so we've stuffed $1 and $2. So let's stuff the third envelope, and let's bend that a bit so it's not creating unnecessary bloat in our envelope. This is a $3 envelope. Okay, so let's talk about what my general rules are for this challenge. I can unstuff when I need to, but only for one category, and that is for cat expenses, because I do not have an envelope to pay for food or babysitter or litter for my cats, because these are not my cats. I am cat sitting for a year. And once my cousin returns from Paris, she's going to reimburse me for all of the expenses I have spent on her cats. And so I'm going to take that reimbursement, and I've already decided that entire reimbursement is going to go towards this challenge. And so basically, because of that, I'm going to allow myself to take money out of the challenge because I'm going to get paid back, and it's going to go right back into the challenge. So in a way, this is like my cat envelope, but also they kind of serve each other. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's the way I'm going to do it. So $1, $2, $3, $4 for this final envelope right here. Okay, so that's the main rule. And then my second main rule, oh wait, I want to flip that around. I am going to be precious about the way that it's arranged. I do want all the faces facing the same way, etc., etc., because that's fun. It's fun to add these little flourishes that really don't matter, but I'm going to add it. Okay, my next rule, as you can see, I've written them down here on a Post-it note. So cat expenses, okay, for removal. But once filled in tracker, no removal. What does that mean? Okay, so let's say, for example, it's my next cash stuffing in a month, or cash condensing, excuse me, in a month or two. I take all this money out, I count it up, and let's say I have exactly $100, or let's say I have exactly $199, okay? So then I'm going to condense that down, and I'm only going to fill in this 100 envelope all the way back here, and this $99 envelope. And then once I do that, and once I color them in, they are committed to this binder, and I cannot remove them. So I need to keep that in mind. I can't have it be that I have filled things in and I don't have money to take out for cat expenses. That can't be allowed. But for the most part, once it has been filled in on the tracker, it's committed, it cannot be removed. And again, we're going to be filling in the tracker backwards. So the $98 thing cannot be filled in until the $99 one is filled in. Does that make sense? I think that does make sense, actually. So that was what I was trying to say earlier. Hopefully this second time explaining it made it make a little more sense. All right, we have this $1 left over. So I'm gonna take a 5 and we're gonna skip the 5 envelope and we're gonna go straight to the 6th. I'm gonna put this stuff up here for now. If you've made it this far into the video, leave me a comment to let me know if you have attempted or successfully completed the 100 envelope savings challenge, or if it's something that you would like to do. If you have any tips and tricks for the best way of doing it, if you can already see me, if you already are like, no, don't do it this way, it's not gonna work, let me know. I would love anybody's input. I'm like I said at the start, at the intro, I'm a newbie at this. I'm just basing it off of what I've seen other people do and how I'm like, oh, this is how I would do it. All right, another rule. Actually, first let's get our next allocation. Okay, so we've got a ton of 5s. We have so many 5s, in fact. In fact, I'm gonna be really silly and I'm gonna undo everything we just did. This is why I kind of wanted to start this video by pre-portioning out the money and then filling in the envelope, so that way this wasn't gonna happen, but it's okay, it's not a big deal. We're gonna do a 5, we're gonna do a 7, and we're gonna do an 8. And because of that, we'll take out, well, first I'll stuff the 5. I just wanna use up my 5s. Use them up. All right, now we're doing the 7. So we're gonna grab these $2 from this envelope. And this is why I'm not gonna fill out these smaller trackers because none of these, you know, I'm gonna shuffle the money around to make it work. When I stuff it for the week, I'll pull money if I've, like, let's say I have $15 left over from the week, but my $15 envelope is already filled. Well, then I can pull money from other envelopes to then fill a different envelope, if that makes sense. Okay, now we're gonna fill out the 8 one. So let's pull out these 3. This 3. 1, 2, and 3. All right, and then let's see, what is the next rule I should talk about? Okay, the final in removal rules is once these are committed, they're committed, can't take the money out. But then once every single one of these hexagons is filled in, including that final $1, then I get to allocate. And that just means I get to split all this up and put it towards all my other sinking funds. And I'm kind of giving my rule to myself that none of this money has to get invested. This is all reward money for not kind of doing impulsive buying. This is really me trying to prevent myself from spending my spending money just because I have it, overspending on groceries just because I have it, going out to eat so much just because I have it. This is a reward system for not doing that. And I mentioned that a little bit in earlier videos. So for example, actually, I did want to talk about that. My stuffing rules are that at the end of every week, whatever is left over in groceries, spending, and eating out gets stuffed in here. And most weeks I'm gonna have a small allocation of like $15 just built into my budget to go in here as well. Okay, now we've fixed that for the most part. So what can we do now? I am gonna portion this out. We've got a 20, we've got that. We could get 35 stuffed. We could get 25 stuffed. That's another 35. Okay, so then we can stuff 15. We can get 40 stuffed, 45 stuffed specifically, but we're still going to be left with so many 5s. This is very intriguing because there is a part of me that's like, I want the exact correct denomination in the binders, but I'm just realizing now that that's not going to work. Oh, but you know what? Oh no, but then we'll get rid of the 5s. Okay. We're not starting over, but switching up the vibes anyway, because this is another thing that people do often when they are doing this challenge is they overstuff. I did mention that earlier. And it's so that way they'll end up with more than 5,050. And there's a part of me that wants to do that, but also it's a bit more of a commitment. But for now we'll pretend that we're overstuffing. So basically you round up. So $4 down to $1 is $5. And then $5 is $5. And then $6 up and higher can be like $10. But for now, we'll just put a 5 into every single one of these. And I'm so sorry if this is not your vibe, if you're like, oh, she's too flighty, she's not making a commitment, she's stuffing them and unstuffing them. But this, I love doing this. This is my second attempt at doing this challenge. I love basically every time I do a cash stuffing, cash condensing, whatever, taking whatever I have left over and just fully unstuffing, refolding, playing with the money. This is so therapeutic to me. So I don't mind having to change my mind. And I will say the reason I quote unquote failed the last time was because I got this challenge about halfway filled out. And then I realized that if I took the money in this challenge and put it into my emergency fund, I would have a fully funded emergency fund. So I did that because I really wanted to have a fully funded emergency fund. And I didn't have all these like extra rules for myself now that I'm going to have now. So I am going to try. Like, I'm not going to do that again. My emergency fund could use some more money. I've had to dip into it because I had some travel emergency and some other stuff like that. But I'm just going to focus on refueling it as normal week to week, and then really focusing on this. And again, this is meant to be bonus money. This isn't going to go towards like, you know, responsible things, I guess. Like, it's not going to go towards investments. It's not going to go towards saving for a down payment. It's not even going to go towards my emergency fund unless for some reason something like horrific happens and it has to. This is meant to be truly fun. And on that note, and this is kind of, I think, the last of the kind of unique things for me, I have taken something that I purchased from the Aesthetic Dollar. It's technically the debit card spending tracker, but I have just taken a little sticky note over it and I've said allocation brainstorm. And the idea here is that every time I want to buy something for spending money or for whatever, I'm going to write it down, not category, but I'm going to say what it is. So for example, I am really wanting to get some more Holo Taco nail polish, right? I would love to get some of the new Holo Taco nail polish that has just been released. So I can put nail polish. I can specifically say it's from Holo Taco. I can say the shade name. I can say how much it costs. And the idea here is to just track every single thing that I'd like to purchase. And if I end up purchasing it, I'll highlight it or cross it out or whatever. But the idea here is that then once this entire tracker is filled out and the challenge is completed, you know, in a couple years or whatever, I can look back at all of the things I wanted to purchase. And what I'm hoping is that my heart will have been like, oh, I don't want that anymore. That was just an impulse, a desire to buy something immediately, but I don't actually want that anymore. And so I can cross it out. Or it is something I legitimately want, and I can have had this challenge be me saving up for it. So that's the last little bit that I have. And whenever I do cash condensings in here, I'll film videos where we kind of play around in this binder, and I can also update you about what I have written on here. And the idea here too is that it's kind of excessive things, right? I do have a nails envelope where every couple of months I could buy myself a nail polish. This would be like if she released an entire collection for $80. And I'm like, do I really need to spend $80 on nail polish at once? Like, no, I literally do not. I mean, if we're being so for real, I don't need to spend any money on nail polish for like several years because I own way too much nail polish. But that's another conversation. So we don't need to get into it. Okay, so we have 2 pages fully filled out right now. I'm gonna go ahead. What is the best strategy? Okay, I think I'm just gonna go right off the bat and go up to the 35. Because, well, or do I want to just keep going and see if I can fill all this in? Maybe that's the best strategy, actually. Yeah, let's just start from the beginning and work out. And then when it comes time to condense, we can condense down and work backwards. That makes more sense than trying to just go around and like fitting it perfectly. Okay, so $10 is going in here. I'm just trying to use up the 5s at this point. Oh, I'm kind of sad to bin these 5s because they are so crisp, but it is what it is. That's the whole point. I do think that there's some people who make these savings challenges where it's the full envelope. It's not a half one that you have to fold, and I feel like that'd be so thick. All right, that's 10. Let's do 15 in the 11. This will use some of it up. Also, I can't forget I have those ones there. Let's do another 15. For 12. How fun. We've already, this is why I think it's a good strategy for me personally and how my brain works to start from the beginning and build out, and then every month or so condense and start at the end, because I get such a rush from like the amount of envelopes stuffed. And so the fact that the majority of this challenge will be me stuffing envelopes in the lower amounts, I think will keep me with it. If every week I was saving up to stuff around $100 and it's only slowly decreasing every week, I don't think I would get the same sort of dopamine hit, if we're being so for real, of what's happening, of what this is. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents on it. All right, so this is going in 13. How many of those ones do we have? Because we've got, that's a 30 left. 13. This is going in 14. Let's hope those were 5 ones. How many ones is that actually? Let's look. 1, 2, 3. It is 4 and 5. Okay, so that is great. Is it great? Is it great? Yeah, that's fine. I was thinking for a second I could put 1 in here and we could stuff 31 and then stuff 14 exactly, but whatever. We've decided we're overstuffing, so let's overstuff. Let's overstuff. Look how terrible this 10 is. Oy, yikes. Awful 10. That's my other thing of why I want to be able to condense these and like give myself permission every month to condense it, because I do want to focus on trying to collect nice numbers. Oof, that's really difficult. That's fighting me. Nice, not numbers, nice bills. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, that doesn't look the best. You can see the ones kind of peeking out, but it's fine. Okay. Hmm. 16, 15. Then we'll have to skip a bit, but that's fine. That's fine. We'll skip a bit. No worries. Okay, so we're going to fill 15. Somebody wrote their name on this one. It says Tara. Tara, if you're out there, call in. Let us know how you're doing and tell us why you wrote on the money. All right, and then we're going to move forward and fill in the 30. Fabulous. Fantastic. So we fully filled in the first 3 pages, almost the first 4 pages, but we had this one little outlier out here. And there we go. How fabulous. I'm so excited. Oh, I should put my little Sharpie there that I'm going to fill in. And in fact, I am going to use a Sharpie. I'm not going to use an Expo marker or like a dry erase marker, because I'm trying to like prove to myself that it's commitment. The last time I did this, I did it with a dry erase marker, and it was so easy to just go in and be like, oh, I need $10, and take it out. So Sharpies only can be removed with acetone or like alcohol. So that makes it a little harder, a couple more steps of friction to decide to cheat on the challenge. But there we go. The 100 envelope challenge, savings challenge, has officially begun over on the Mountain Budget, March 23rd. I'm going to hope to give regular, potentially monthly updates about how it's going. I'll do those updates when I do my condensings for the month. And yeah, how fantastic. This has been the Mountain Budget. I'm Mo, and now I have to go. But thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you more than you know. Bye.